Hey, welcome to another video. Would you like to learn how to make the tenderest, most juicy smoked chicken around? I'm going to show you how to do it because Richard is cooking again. Now, there are a lot of ways to get really good, tender, juicy poultry. But what I like to do is I like to let it sit in a brine solution for a period of time. I like to let it happen overnight, but everybody has their own methodology for doing it. But that's what I use. And the secret to a good brine is essentially to use equal parts salt and sugar. The reason is I don't want too much saltiness getting into the tissues of the meat in order to help retain the natural juices of the chicken. It's all about the juiciness, not necessarily the salt content. Now you notice that I've got some other kinds of seasoning here to show you what you could put into a brine to infuse that brine solution with additional flavors. I'm not really going to use any of that because I stick with the simple salt and sugar, because to me, I'm going to season everything on the outside. It's still going to be fantastic, and you'll be able to taste the natural juices of that chicken when I'm done. Now, it really doesn't depend on how much poultry you have as much as the salt and water. So what I like to do, and the good rule of thumb is for every gallon of water you use, you need a half a cup of salt. But I use a 1-to-1 ratio of sugar and salt to be able to offset the natural saltiness, and make it to where it's not too salty. It's kind of easy to over salt in a brine. So that ratio is very important. So what I use for my brine, there are lots of ways to do it, but I use a very simple bucket, a brand new, clean Lowe's bucket that I have also cleaned out with a food-safe solution of bleach and water, mostly water, but you can go online and find out what the correct ratio is to make it food-safe. But I use it to clean out the bucket, and I use a lid to make sure that it is nice and sealed tight, and then it goes straight into my fridge overnight. Now, I think it's going to take about 2 to 3 gallons of water to fully cover the chicken in my bucket. And that's what I want is full coverage of the chicken. You don't need to go fill it all the way to the top. You just need to be able to fill enough to where it's fully covered. So you don't have to bring a brine solution all the way to a boil. You just want to make sure that everything is dissolved. And once it's clear like that, it's time to cool it down. Just take some ice cubes and put it in here and let it quickly cool down. That way it's easier to put into the bucket. And you definitely don't want to put chicken in here with boiling water or even hot water. You don't want to cook it before you're ready to smoke it. Okay, so now that the brine is done, I went ahead and did a second gallon here. So I've got 2 gallons of brine water in here. And now people have asked me, if you're just doing salt and sugar, which is easily dissolvable, why do you have to boil it? And the fact of the matter is you really kind of don't. The reason why you would boil it is if you're adding in other aromatics like bay leaves or whole peppercorns or minced garlic or something like that. I didn't do any of that. But the reason why I boil it is it's a little bit quicker in the brining process. You could let it dissolve and it'll take a little bit longer in cold water. But I want to get this stuff in the brine quickly. So I bring it to a quick, not even a boil, just warm enough to where it dissolves quickly, throw some ice in there to cool it down quickly, and then I toss it in my bucket. So you don't have to necessarily boil it, but I do. That's just me. But definitely boil it if you're going to be bringing in some other aromatics that you want to really season the water with. I had like the crushed peppers and pepper out and minced garlic out for show earlier. And that's really important because that's the kind of thing that you could use to flavor the brine, to have those flavors infused in the tissues of the poultry. So let's go ahead and get this in the bucket and make sure that we have enough water. And I go ahead and put the whole chicken in here. Even with the giblets and everything that comes with the packet. it all gets brined. Everything adds flavor. And by the way, these are whole chickens from Costco. All right, these are totally covered. 2 gallons is plenty. So I'm going to go ahead and snap the lid on, stick it in the fridge, and let it go overnight. All right, so the spatchcock of chicken, what I like to do is kind of take one pass along the side of the backbone. The front part of it here is easier to get through than it is the back. So it's multiple cuts. That's why a very handy tool is a nice, big, sharp cleaver to get through that. And see that? It gets right through there. And what I like to do is kind of score the breastbone, because what you want to do is when you turn it over, you want it, in order to lay it flat, you're going to need to kind of break it a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and just make these into halves. So I'll be cooking chicken halves. It's going to cook much quicker. But I'm still going to take this backbone off to make them fairly even. There we go. Easy. Now, one downside to brining is the skin becomes a little bit more pliable. You see there's already a tear right here. That's okay. It is what it is, and it'll still cook just fine. And the rest of the skin, what you want to do is you do want the skin to be able to crisp up some, but with brining, it makes the skin a little bit harder to crisp up. It's still going to be great, and I'll show you how to do that. So for now, let's just go ahead and get the other one done. Okay, so there you have it. You've got 4 beautiful chicken halves, and they are going to be put on the smoker as soon as I get it up and running and hot. And this will be good to go. I'm going to do a couple of last minute touch-ups here. Make sure every crevice has got something on it. Okay, good to go. Okay, got my fire started in my chimney. I've got some beautiful pieces of pecan and apple wood on top of my charcoal, and that's going to give it a nice mellow smoke, not too hard. All right, so we're hot and ready to go. We're going to put these have been sweating down a little bit. I'm going to put the breasts closer to the middle and the thighs and the drums closer to the outside because it's a little hotter. Because on my drum smoker, it's hotter coming up the sides there. Let's place these around nicely. I'm putting these in breast side or bone side down, skin side up. Yep, thank you. I've got cooking help. Thank you, Judith. All right, we're going to let them be in there for a while. It's probably going to take an hour to 2 to cook. I'm counting on probably about closer to an hour and a half. I'm going to regulate my temperature with my exhaust there. So now it's looking like it's just about done. It looks perfect. Put them on here. Wow, these look fantastic.
Look good, Richard.
Wow. Look at those birds.
The skin is nice and crispy. It's exactly the way I want it. These have been cooking for about an hour and a half, pretty much like I thought, maybe a little bit more. I think this is exactly what we want. We're gonna let them rest for about 10-15 minutes, and then we're gonna cut into them and take a look. So I'm cooking all of this for a family birthday party, so this is the moment of truth here. So we're gonna cut into the breast meat to see if it is juicy like we had hoped for. What do you think, Mom? You think it's juicy?
Perfect.
All right.
Perfect?
So this is what you get when you brine poultry, is juicy meat. You can, I don't know if the camera can see it, but it's just dripping off there. Okay, let's get the money shot of taking a taste. You want to taste it, Mom?
Uh-huh.
It's kind of hot.
Where did the money shot come from?
You like it?
It's delicious.
We got a winner. So, super simple, very easy to do on any kind of a smoker. Make sure you brine it, and just remember, make sure that you hit subscribe.